Trapmore gang, I've got some updates on this Stockton mass shooting situation, and it's looking really bad for EBK Jaaybo. I'm not going to lie, it's actually looking very bad for him personally. We've been seeing EBK members trying to distance themselves from this situation, but now lyrics are resurfacing from earlier in his career that just look so awful in the context of this gang war that's ultimately led to 3 children being killed, another man being killed, and over a dozen people being shot, that it wouldn't surprise me if the feds are really going to try and put him away forever for just even having been allegedly a part of the series of events that ultimately led to this incident. On top of that, the feds and the authorities, they're going really, really hard. They're putting up huge bounties, big money for anybody that can give them information to help them crack this case and put everybody involved away forever. And I would not be surprised if some of the people that were targeted in that incident that shot back are going to be facing serious jail time, because it sounds like the police have found several firearms that have been linked to the side of the shooting that was under attack and allegedly shot back. But first off, I want to show you this. The rewards have apparently been raised to $130,000 if anybody's got information on the suspect of this Stockton mass shooting. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives is offering a $20,000 reward for information on the suspects in the Stockton mass shooting. Okay, now I don't know why it says the rewards reach $130,000. As I was saying, they got $20K for any info on the suspect, but there's going to be more different departments, okay, offering money. So that's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives. And then a suspect has yet to be identified or detained. They're saying the Stockton mayor, Christina Frugesi, reported that Crime Stoppers, along with herself and councilwoman Mariella Ponce, are offering a combined $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those involved. The FBI and San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office offered a $50,000 reward, and the Youth Peace and Justice Foundation offered a $5,000 reward for information on the suspects. The FBI, after the ATF announcement on Friday, Stockton Crime Stoppers added $30,000 to the original award of $25,000. So now the total reward for any information regarding the Stockton mass shooting suspect is $130,000. I'm not going to lie. This is a community that has been down bad for some time. People have been telling me, I know people that live in the area, people have been telling me, yo, this area is desolate. People are hungry. People are starving. People are really getting it by any means. They're saying this is not an area you can just pull up and hang out. You finna get robbed for everything you got. You need to be very careful out there. So it wouldn't surprise me if somebody in the community said $130,000. I know what went on. Let me get that. And you know what? Even without the money, they would be doing a service to the community, okay? I don't care what anybody says. Gang, we're supposed to stick. Like, I did an interview with somebody the other day who is an ex-gang member, did a lot of time. And they just could not fathom the idea that I would actually say, I want to see people in jail. But this is the problem. If you're in this mindset, all these gang members protecting each other, they're putting up a wall of silence to the police. These are kids that got killed. This ain't no snitching on your homie for doing a drill together. This is children who lost their lives, who deserve justice. The families deserve justice, and the community needs to heal. And $130,000 might just do it. So to any brave soul out there that's got information on this crime, I'm not putting up any money, but I'm just letting you know, $130,000. That's a big down payment. Now get yourself a crib, get yourself set up for life, and also put away just a diabolical, absolutely horrible person. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe going to somebody, if you know who did it, you might want to go and collect that $130,000. I ain't gonna cap. But anyway, moving on to the next piece of news that's come out. Okay. This is kind of a very interesting aspect of the story, okay? So this, oh my God, so many pop-ups. So this is basically going around, okay? This is the news reporting about there being a manhunt underway for whoever was responsible, okay? Now, I'm not going to read you this whole article, but it is truly a manhunt going on. They are looking, all right, for who did it. And the San Joaquin sheriff spoke on the manhunt, and they basically said on Sunday, firearms were found on the roof of the banquet hall, but it's unclear if those were the ones used in the attack, because it was believed that shooting begun inside and ended outside the banquet hall. Withrow is confident that there were multiple shooters, and he anticipates investigators will be able to take all of them into custody. Just know we're coming for you. There's nothing you can do now. You've already created this havoc, this horror you brought to these families, the horror you brought to our communities, and we're going to get you. We're going to hold you accountable. Sheriff Whitrow called the perpetrators animals and urged the public to come forward with information, even if it's possibly unrelated. Please, if you saw something, if you videotaped something, even if you think it's minor, reach out to us. Let us take that piece of the puzzle and see if it's part of this or not. We'd much rather get a call from you that's not related than miss something that we absolutely need to know. They are on your ass trying to find out what's going on. Now, shout out to my guy, Renegade Media. Okay, been doing amazing coverage of this situation. And he basically put it out there that the theory that the weapons thrown on the roof were most likely thrown by the people at the party who were shooting back at the attackers. Let's hear what he said.
So let's get right into the video. Now, mind you, if you look at the footage closely, you're going to see a red sweater and some gray shorts. Now, if you've been catching up on all this information about Stockton, you're going to see that at that children's party, there was guns confiscated on the roof with shell casings. They're doing DNA matches on all these shell casings. Mind you, guns on the roof. That means somebody threw some guns on that roof. They're at that party. I doubt the killers that did this to this unfortunate child's birthday party went there, shot at it, and said, man, there's a rooftop right there. I can get rid of the gun at the scene of the crime and throw it on the roof. So obviously, Dougie's 3 and Nano, they're incarcerated. This rapper right here, Nano, who came out with real murder music and had the nerve to criticize me and says I need to start using my platform for positivity and stop, talking about him and being a cornball. That's what he said on his Instagram, but I'm pretty sure somebody was running it, making that statement for him.
So basically, right, they're going to be doing DNA matches. If you was even there shooting back and you was part of this situation, you're in a whole lot of trouble. You are in a whole lot of trouble. And some of the guys basically, okay, 2 of the rappers who were targeting, all right, we've been talking about Nano and Dougie 3s, all right. Now reports are coming out about their criminal history, and it's actually very interesting. Apparently, they were arrested in 2024 during, and I can't believe they named it this, all right. I can't believe they named it this, Operation Boogeyman. All right, if you know the history and the music and the popping stuff in Stockton, calling it Operation Boogeyman is insane. This is EBK Jaaybo's song, Boogeyman, that dropped on April the 24th, 2024. And then this is the Stockton police operation that targeted gangs and violence, leading to several arrests in October 24th, 2024. And they're saying they called this Operation Boogeyman. All right, that's what they were calling it. That's what that's what was going around, all right? You making songs about the gang war, and they taking your song titles and they turning that into Operation, bro. This is why EBK Jaaybo needs to look out. I'm going to tell you a lot more reasons why he is in a lot of trouble in a minute.
While an operation targeting gangs and violence in Stockton led to more than 70 arrests and dozens of guns being taken off the streets.
Stockton police just made the announcement today. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras was there and has the details now.
The press conference took place here at the Stockton Police Department's administration building, and despite law enforcement officials opening themselves up to questions, many questions were left on the table.
If violence is brought to our neighborhoods, there will be accountability.
San Joaquin County law enforcement leaders gathered Thursday to hear and see the results of what Stockton's police chief calls Operation Boogeyman.
Bro, this is like, yo, you know how bad of a look this is, right? Like, this is like, they calling the operation, they naming the operation after your song, bro. And when I show you some of the stuff that Jaaybo, some of the other stuff that Jaaybo had said in the lead up to all this shit going down, it's going to blow your mind, bro. Operation Boogeyman, They heard that song, they said, I bet it's going to be Operation F everybody next.
It specifically targeted some of our most violent street gangs, which were responsible for homicides and several shootings throughout the county.
But which gangs and cases?
I'm not going to give them the honor or space to acknowledge those gangs, but they know.
The chief also declining to detail the timeline when the operation began. He did say that $65,000, narcotics, 36 handguns, 14 rifles, and 1 shotgun were seized, and that officers made 74 arrests, but would not elaborate on the specific charges they face.
So, if you don't know, if you recognize a couple people, all right, seeing Billy Williams here, Luciano Guerrero, these are the guys, Nano and Dougie, who was basically all up in the party, all getting arrested now. It's not a good look, okay? So, you wrapped up in Operation Boogeyman, my guy literally calling himself the Boogeyman. Bro, it's a dub.
They face.
Every gun seized from the street saves a life. Operation Boogeyman is one of the largest gun violence intervention operations in our county's history and perhaps the state.
Stockton City Manager echoing that pride.
We are winning. Crime is on the decline in Stockton, and it is not by accident.
Overall crime down by 12% in the first 9 months of 2024, according to city numbers. And for those who don't feel that decline in violence, Chief McFadden making a promise.
Our work will never be done until the victimization stops.
So a lot of people are getting cooked. All right. Now, what's really crazy, even though both of the victims who were at the party got in trouble and got arrested, they got arrested for parole violations, okay? But Renegade Media has now revealed that Flyboy Dougie 3's violation was actually a little bit twisted, okay? Because word was going around that he'd been convicted of some heinous crimes, all right? And he might not have been supposed to be around these kids. And apparently his violation, reportedly, was failing to register as an S offender, allegedly.
Arrest record as they were facing. Maybe that birthday party wouldn't have been targeted. But Billy Williams' arrest record, as you can see, I'm showing you proof. It shows the day where he got busted, December 1st, where he was arrested on a parole violation. So I kept scrolling down just to see what kind of criminal background he is, because a lot of these gangster rappers talk about they got multiple bodies, but ain't none of them in jail for murder. Do love to beat on women? A lot. A hell of a lot. And I'm showing you the charges. But one charge came up. Failure to register as a sex offender, and that was a parole violation. Now, that is a tricky subject to talk about because I do know the system has convicted people that have been exonerated or has convicted people under false pretenses and they still had to register as a sex offender. Trust me, I've been learning that for the last few years. But in this particular case, it was pimping a 17-year-old while he was a 17-year-old. So when I initially announced that I was going to talk about that for a little bit, do you know how many people were in my DMs are like, hey, bro, it was just pimping, bro. It ain't that serious. It's not like it was the R word. I'm like, let me show you how serious it really gets. Registering as a sex offender for pimping a 17-year-old as a 17-year-old just because they're of the same age doesn't make it a mistake. It's still sexual exploitation. Something like that, you just can't sweep under the rug. You can't sugarcoat it. And you sure in the hell can't dismiss it because it doesn't fit the narrow definition of a sex crime because we think of certain sex crimes in certain ways. It doesn't work like that. Pimping a minor, putting a child in a position that she shouldn't be involved in the first place, even if she was her choice and she wanted to do it for you. Because pimping a minor isn't about intimacy and it isn't about sex.
It's not. I don't even want to keep hearing that, to be honest with you. But anyway, okay, police are continuing to search for the suspects. And unfortunately, this means more and more people have been pouring over some of the more suspect lyrics that have been coming out of Stockton for the last few years. Now, in a previous update, okay, I talked about how people were accusing EBK members of being involved in the shooting, and this led to them jointly coming out and expressing their disapproval. All right, stop tagging us. We don't condone that. EBK Jaaybo 300. Violence towards kids is unacceptable. We don't condone none of that at all. Plus, we in jail. Clear our names from the shenanigans. Free the innocent. Stop tagging us. We don't condone that. EBK Jaaybo. And no, we don't do nothing with kids. EBK versus everybody. We don't like y'all either. So we killing hella kids and stuff now? That's cool. That's cool. But then when we start looking back at EBK Jaaybo's lyrics, the Boogeyman himself, he invented Operation Boogeyman. Things start looking a little bit suspect. This is the track 2100. Murder after murder. Blood, you know what it is. F the babies. When it come down to it, they get hit. Smoke the kid. Every dude round here got a stick. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a very, very big problem. On a 2024 track, Can't Save Me, he said, EBK Jaaybo, Can't Save Me, from the Reaper. He said, it ain't hard to get a B on your belt. Grab you one. It's a body. We popped his kid. Now we don't exist. He never had a son. All right. 2024, Give That Chain Up. Talking about when I shoot, it's hard to watch out for kids. No cap, bodies drop every time they diss. It's not a good look right now, man. It's not a good look. And we love Jaaybo's music, but he made it hot for himself, okay? 2025. Long live my brother. Okay, this is the song. The little dudes be out here checking out early. Raise your kids, but you're talking about kids. The little dudes checking out here checking out early. Catching bees make me feel better. It's not a good look. All right? It's not a good look. It's very, very bad look. All right? And this continued through 2025. This is his project, Don't Trust Me. Okay? Now, the cover art, some people think he's kind of paying homage to Lil Durk's Loyal Bros album cover art here. Okay? Kind of, you can compare this to Loyal Bros 2, which ironically is also probably, I've said that this is the most flagrant example of self-snitching. Go and listen to this project and tell me that Lil Durk's going to beat this case. I don't think you can. But unfortunately, on that same project that pays homage to this self-snitching masterpiece, EBK members are talking crazy. This one, it's EBK Lebo on the track Top Rank G's. Catch him loafing with his kids. It do not matter. I watched him twitch after. Not great. And then finally, on the very, very darkly titled track, It'll Happen to You. Same project. Hit the 5 trying to catch me one. You know I'm going to blow for Nick. Don't let nobody hear my brother name. I don't want to hear... Don't let me hear a dude say my brother name if you ain't spin. Through Sucker Block Reckless. Through the Sucker Block Reckless. We ain't watching for no kids. They outside with dudes. It is what it is. So we ain't watching for no kids. We're sliding through their block. Reckless. We ain't watching for no kids. They're outside with the ops. With dudes. It is what it is. Look. Call me the feds. Say I'm snitching. Jaaybo self-snitching. Bro, this is a bad look. There isn't no talking... It ain't one example. It's not a reach. It's song after song after song talking about we'll kill you in front of your kids. We'll hit the kids. We don't care about the kids. This is going to be a problem. And then we find out Operation Boogeyman and you calling yourself the Boogeyman. This is a really, really bad look. It's no disrespect. I'm not preying on anybody's downfall, but like Jaaybo's currently facing a very serious case. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a full video on Jaaybo's case. So I'm going to give you all of the context in another video as to why he's in a really bad situation. And all of this just made things 1,000 times worse. Okay, but that's it for this video. You guys tell me what you think down in the comments. Is this demonic energy? Did he speak this awful, awful situation into existence? Is his crew over egging it, denying being involved? We still don't know who's involved. It could be explosive when it comes out. Now, we need to see justice for this situation. I'm sorry, but it's just not okay. Kids have lost their lives. Innocent kids have lost their lives. And it's all well and good saying we don't condone that. Sounds like all you guys were condoning it for the last 4 years. So let me know what you guys think, man. No disrespect, but it is what it is, man. Catch you in the next video. I will do a full breakdown of Jaaybo's case. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Peace.